So Saturday, I went to Game Central Station Shop and Swap up in Athens, Georgia. I think this is the 6th time that they've had this. They do it once or twice a year. And it was the first like swap meet, convention type thing that I'd gone to without Prin and the Munchkin. So it was interesting. It was about a 2-hour drive, raining off and on. It started really raining when I finally got there. Let's take a look. I got some video of the event. Here's the banner for the company that puts it on. They were at Southern Fried Gaming Expo and at Siege or Siege or Southeast Game Exchange, however, which way you'd like to pronounce it. So this one's looking from the back to the front. You get a little bit more view of some of the vendors. The collectible show. There's one of the speakers that they had blasting some retro tunes on, was pretty cool. There's Adam Retrobeard's shop. He was selling some stuff, as well as a buddy of his. This is on the other side. Just a quick look around. Lots of vendors, lots of stuff. Toys, games, magazines, and a vintage computer wall. Here's a wall that had some vintage computing stuff. You can see Commodore 64 down towards the bottom right hand corner. There's a TurboGrafx 16 next to it. Above that, on the top shelf on the upper right, I believe that was an NES case. There's a little Mac below it. This was a pretty neat way of packaging Atari stuff. And so you got your selection of games. You had 5 games in there. You can see there was some another pack of 2600 and 7800 as well. But not a bad selection. Missile Command, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Pitfall. I can't remember what the other one was, but I mean, $2 for a game, that's not too bad. Especially since those are, I think, some of the more popular titles. We're at the Retrobeard. Something that I saw towards the end of the show that was pretty cool is the arcade coin slot. I thought that was pretty cool. One of those things like, man, I really wish I could find a space for it in the room. Here's a booth that had a bunch of toys. You can see the Star Wars sheet underneath it, but I'm always looking for muscle men, and this guy had some, so I talked with him a good bit. It was pretty cool. I found out that he has a store. His name was Matt, and it was called Fat Crow Vintage. And I picked up a couple things from him, which I'll go over when I do the pickups in just a minute. He also had some Monsters in My Pocket. Just to the left of those is some really small but fairly detailed Garbage Pail Kids figures. I thought those were pretty cool. I didn't pick up a bunch. What I did, I was really happy with, and with the prices that I paid for it. First thing I picked up was a C64 Mini, this was really cool because I had been looking just a few days before and looking at possibly picking one up. So picked this up, and this was the same booth that had the Atari games in the 5-packs. Got this for $35. You know, there's 64 games in it. You know, they give you a bit of a look right there what they are, but when I got home, I looked to see if there was a way of hacking it so you could put more games on it. Well, actually, you don't have to hack it. There's an update for it that will allow you to plug in a USB stick, and you can load it up with games. And there'll be an icon down with the menus where you can go to that, and it'll take you to you, and you can go through the games. Just be careful, because I think there's over 17,000 games for this, and they're not going to take a bunch of room, so you could be scrolling for a while. Scroll wisely. This next set of stuff I picked up from Fat Crow Vintage Toys, and super excited to get these because I'm trying to get the pilots and some of the more of the other figures for my childhood Voltron. Boom, put that down. We got to put up his wings. It's not in the best condition. This was well played with by myself, my brother, and my 2 sisters. So, I mean, as you see. Not perfect. I picked up Hunk from Dragon Slayer Toys, local toy shop, probably a couple months ago now. But now I can put Keith. Also picked up a couple bad guys. I guess robots, at least in the American version. Also got Lance. He had Pidge. I'm pretty sure I have Pidge. If not, I'm probably going to regret it. But now I'll be able to put in the Red Lion, Black Lion. Like I said, I think I've got Pidge. So I should have almost all of them now. Just have to find Princess Allura. And Voltron will have all of his pilots. I'll be looking for a canopy for the Yellow Lion. See if there's some way I can, tighten that up a little bit. It's a little woo. It goes woo, goes woo. I was super happy to get those, but I also picked up some stuff for Prin. 3 little E.T. figures. She loves E.T. She loves penguins, but didn't see any penguin stuff. But I thought these 3 little E.T. figures would be great. They can go in her stocking for Christmas. After getting the Voltron figures and the E.T. figures, I started looking at the Muscle Men, and I pulled out some of them, and I was like, okay, maybe I might come back for these 5. And it's like, well, if you want, I'll count how many there are, and maybe we'll work something else. All right, cool. So I looked around some. There was somebody there that had the gray base system for the Master System in the box. Apparently it had been traded in. It was in rough shape. I asked him about him, but he's like, it hadn't been processed. So I was like, all right, well, I just won't worry about that. I went back to Adam the Retrobeard's booth because there's a game that I'd seen there previously. And I was like, thinking about it, back and forth. I was all right, if I can get it, I'll go and get it. Hopefully you can take a credit card. We got that figured out, and then I picked up Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, which is supposed to have the 5 games for Shovel Knight in it. This is one that I'd looked at previously for the Wii U, and I was like, hey, if I can get the Switch version, I can get all of the additional DLC expansions. Awesome. And this was actually for his buddy. He was selling some stuff, and talking with him, I was like, oh, I'm glad that I was able to pick something up from him. He had a Virtual Boy there, and that was kind of tempting, but that would have been dangerous to buy. It had the case, and it had some fixes that had just been done to it, so it was in good working order. But I did go back to ask about the Muscle Men. I didn't think we were going to be able to work out a deal, but we were. And so I added some new Muscle Men to the collection. Most of them are flesh, but there's 2 red ones. They're red ones. I'm not sure who this is off the top of my head, but there's Meat, the trainer. I'd also asked about the monsters in my pocket, but these took all but my last dollar. So I left the monsters in my pocket there. I've only got a few monsters in my pocket. I think they all came in lots from eBay. When I picked up Muscle Man, every once in a while there'd be a Mimp in there. The first thing that I got was something from Buddy Saturn Steve, and that is Sega Genesis ornament. I'm super excited to get this. I haven't turned it on yet. I got it ready for the batteries. Let's see if I can. It takes 3 of these batteries. Hopefully I can actually get it in there. All right. You know what? I should probably turn that off because it'll probably get copyrighted. Well, this was super awesome to get. I was really surprised, but it was great to see Saturn Steve there. I got to talk with him and his wife, talk with Adam and his wife, with Adam's buddy. Got to catch up again with MC Murray. Usually catch up with him at Southern Fried Gaming Expo, so it was cool to see him again. Talk with him a bit. Told him what I was looking for. Always looking for RC Grand Prix. That was my experience at Game Central Station Shop and Swap. 6. 6. 6. 6. Not 3. Not 3. 6. 6. I talked to one of the guys, and I might look at getting a booth and the next time they do it, just to try to sell some of this craziness. It was a fun event. It was really strange not having Prin there. Luckily, I ran into Saturn Steve pretty quickly, and so it kind of was like, okay, cool. I met somebody. I got to talk with somebody that I know. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Have fun. Be kind to one another. Stay safe. Keep it retro. God bless. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. Until next time, keep it retro. Toys. When I got home, I was like, oh, I wonder if they've I just totally forgot that guy. He also had we can make Alf jealous. What are you guys doing here? And I got them for about $1 a piece, which is what I like. And if you and, then there's and. You know, it's just and it goes on. And on and on and on and on and on. Okay. That's all I got to say about that. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope everyone has a good night, good day, good afternoon, good morning, good time of the year whenever this is watched.